Welcome everyone to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today we're getting into one of the really big ones, a foundational story.
Absolutely.
The biblical account of Noah's Ark, the Great Flood. We're focusing specifically on excerpts from Genesis 7.
Right, honing in on that chapter.
Our mission, really, is to unpack this narrative. We want to look at the sequence, what happened when,
The timeline, yeah.
and the specific commands God gave Noah, the sheer scale of the flood. It's kind of mind-boggling. And what the text says actually happened as a result. Think of this as, well, maybe a shortcut to really grasping this story. We'll point out some surprising details, key facts you might have missed.
And we're sticking closely to the text itself. What does it say happened? Who was involved? Just how big was this event? We want to give you a really clear picture of this moment.
Okay, let's jump in. It starts with the Lord speaking directly to Noah, and the reason Noah's chosen. The text says he was found righteous in this generation.
That's a powerful statement right there.
It really is. What does that phrase, righteous in this generation tell us? About the world, then, and about Noah himself.
Well, it strongly suggests the background was pretty grim, widespread corruption, maybe.
Yeah, makes sense.
So for Noah to be singled out like that, his integrity, his character must have been exceptional. It really sets him apart.
It positions him as central. Right. His moral standing is the reason for the whole rescue operation, essentially.
Exactly. And from that starting point, we get these incredibly detailed instructions. First off, God tells Noah, go into the ark, you and your whole family.
The whole family. Sons, wives, everyone.
Yes, explicitly his sons and their wives, too. It's a collective thing from the start. And then the animals, very specific counts.
Okay, what were they?
7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate. Then 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate.
1 pair of the unclean, 7 of the clean. Interesting.
And also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female.
7 pairs of birds, too. Now, that distinction, clean and unclean, even before the law of Moses, that's pretty fascinating, isn't it?
It really is. It hints at concepts of purity or maybe sacrifice that would become much more defined later.
So maybe it wasn't just about saving species, but preserving something specific, a practice maybe, along with the animals.
It's possible. And the purpose given for gathering all these creatures, the text is clear, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth.
A global repopulation plan.
Precisely. And with these instructions came a pretty stark warning. The Lord says he will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights.
40 days.
And wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. Total destruction for everything else.
Wow. And he gave a deadline?
Yep, 7 days from now. Just 1 week's notice for the rain to start.
And Noah's reaction, this is key for me. The text just says, and Noah did all that the Lord commanded him.
Simple as that.
Just boom, complete obedience, no arguments, no, how am I supposed to do this?
Right. That immediate, unquestioning obedience is presented as, well, fundamental to his character. It's why he was chosen, why he was saved. It's a huge theme.
Faith and trust, even when it seems impossible.
Absolutely. And speaking of details, the text even gives Noah's age when the flood hits.
Oh, yeah. How old?
He was 600 years old when the floodwaters came on the earth.
600, okay. And then the actual entry into the ark. It describes Noah, his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, his wife, their wives.
Right.
They all go in.
Right.
But what I find amazing is how it describes the animals. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of birds, and of all creatures that move along the ground, male and female. It says they came to Noah and entered.
Yes. That's a crucial detail. It wasn't like Noah had to run around catching them all.
No, it sounds like divine intervention bringing them to the ark.
The text really emphasizes that. And the timing of the flood itself is given with incredible precision. After the 7 days, the floodwaters came on the earth.
Right after that week's warning.
And it even gives a calendar date. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month.
Wow, that's specific, like down to the end month. That does give it a sense of, I don't know, historical record almost.
It grounds the event in a very particular time frame within the narrative.
And the source of the water wasn't just rain, was it?
No, the text describes a double source. Cataclysmic, really. It says, all the springs of the great deep burst forth.
Water from below.
And the floodgates of the heavens were open.
And water from above. So like the whole system breaking down. A cosmic level event.
Total upheaval. And that initial rain lasted the promised 40 days and 40 nights.
It's just the rain part, yeah.
And the text makes sure we know exactly who was inside when things got sealed up. It lists them again. Noah, his family,
Right.
and every wild animal according to its kind, all livestock according to their kinds, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings.
Every kind. It stresses that.
It does. Pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark, male and female, covering all the bases.
And then that final powerful sentence, then the Lord shut him in.
Yeah, that's quite an image. Sealed inside by God himself.
Protection, but also separation from everything about to happen.
Exactly. And once they were shut in, the flood continued. For 40 days, the flood kept coming on the earth. That initial period was just, well, the start.
So the water level just keeps rising after the rain stops.
Seems so. The text says, as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth.
So it starts floating.
It floated on the surface of the water. Picture that, just this one vessel on an endless ocean.
Alone. And how high did the water get?
Extraordinarily high. The text emphasizes this. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered.
All the mountains. Under the entire heavens.
That's what it says. And it even gives a specific depth over the mountains.
It does. What was it?
The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits.
15 cubits. What's that, roughly?
About 22, 23 feet, give or take.
So imagine the highest peaks, Mount Everest maybe, covered by over 20 feet of water. That's almost unimaginable.
It conveys an image of absolute, total inundation, a global scale, according to the narrative.
Which leads us to the devastation. The text is brutal here. Every living thing that moved on land perished: birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swarm over the earth, and all mankind.
No exceptions mentioned on land.
None. It repeats for emphasis.
Yeah.
Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Just absolute clarity.
Total wipeout. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that move along the ground, and the birds were wiped from the earth. Stark.
A complete reset of life on land. So the only survivors.
The text says only Noah was left and those with him in the ark.
Just them, floating above a drowned world.
And how long did the state last? How long were the waters dominant?
Ah, right. There's a duration given for that, too.
Yes. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days.
150. That's 5 months.
5 months of the earth being completely covered by water. It speaks to the sheer endurance required and the magnitude of the event described.
Wow. Just running through that sequence. It's
Yeah.
incredible. The detail, the commands, Noah's obedience, the sources of the flood, the sheer height of the water, the totality of the destruction.
The dense narrative.
Yeah. And the finality of it for everything outside that ark, it really paints a picture of cosmic judgment, but also this one single point of preservation.
It does. And maybe that leaves us, and you listening, with something to think about.
Okay.
Given that specificity we talked about, 7 pairs of clean, 1 pair of unclean, 7 pairs of birds, what does that suggest to you about how the narrative views these kinds of animals? And beyond that, how do you even begin to contemplate the logistics, the sheer scale of preserving every kind to restart life? What enduring questions does a story this massive, this absolute, bring up for you today?